Ibuprofen, aspirin, naproxen. I mean, you know the names, right? They're in pretty much every medicine cabinet on the planet. We grab one for a headache or a sore back without even thinking about it. But what if I told you these everyday heroes of pain relief have this whole other side? A hidden complexity that makes them a real double-edged sword. Let's get into it.
Yeah, you know exactly what you're looking at. Chances are you've probably taken one pretty recently. But have you ever stopped to wonder what actually happens inside your body to make that pain just disappear? And maybe more importantly, what else is going on that you don't feel? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down.
All right, so let's start at the beginning. We're talking about a class of drugs that are, let's be honest, absolute superstars of the pharmacy aisle.
Okay, so the fancy official name for these is Nonsteroidal Anti-inflammatory Drugs, which is a mouthful, so everybody just calls them NSAIDs. And really, their main job is right there in the name. They fight inflammation. But they're kind of overachievers, you know? They also tackle pain and fever, real multitaskers. And here they are, the usual suspects. We've got aspirin, ibuprofen, naproxen. Diclofenac might be a little less familiar to some, but it's a big one too. And the key thing here, most of them are just sitting on a shelf, right over the counter, no prescription needed. And that, right there, is a huge reason they're everywhere.
I mean, it's wild when you think about the sheer range of what we use these for. Headaches, back pain, arthritis, menstrual cramps, you name it. They're the go-to fix for just about every common ache and pain you can imagine. Honestly, you could say they're one of the foundations of modern pain management. Okay, but how? How does a tiny little pill know where your headache is and how to turn it off? It feels like magic, but it's not. The answer is actually a really powerful, and you'll see, a surprisingly blunt secret weapon.
So it all comes down to these things inside our bodies called enzymes. The ones we care about have this ridiculously long name, cyclooxygenase. Thankfully, we can just call them COX enzymes, and these are the targets. The whole job of an NSAID is to find these COX enzymes and just shut them down.
All right, now this is where the plot thickens. Turns out there isn't just one type of COX enzyme. There are two, and they have totally different jobs. So let's think of it like this. You've got COX-1, the housekeeper. This one's the good guy, always on, quietly doing important maintenance, like protecting your stomach lining and keeping your kidneys happy. Then you've got COX-2, the alarm. This one only shows up when there's trouble, like an injury. Its job is to sound the alarm by creating these things called prostaglandins, which are what cause pain and inflammation.
So let's walk through it. Say you twist your ankle. Your body immediately flips the switch on the COX-2 alarm. Right away, it starts pumping out those prostaglandins, and bam, you feel pain, you see swelling. So you pop an NSAID. It gets in there and just blocks the COX enzymes. And with them out of commission, the prostaglandin factory shuts down. The pain signals stop. Relief. Sounds perfect, right? Simple, effective. But there's a catch.
And this is the whole reason we're talking about this today. This is the double-edged sword part of the story. It's where our hero from the medicine cabinet kind of becomes the villain, where solving one problem accidentally creates a whole bunch of new ones. So here it is, the fatal flaw. The big problem is that most NSAIDs, we're talking your standard ibuprofen, your naproxen, they're just not that sophisticated. They can't tell the difference between the good housekeeper enzyme and the bad alarm enzyme. They're what we call non-selective. They just go in and shut down both of them, the alarm and the housekeeper. And what happens when you shut down the housekeeper? Well, you're shutting down all that good work it does. Suddenly, your stomach lining doesn't have its usual protection, which can lead to ulcers and bleeding. Your kidneys might not get the blood flow they need. And maybe the most frightening part? It can actually increase your risk for really serious things, like a heart attack or stroke. And look, this is not some rare, theoretical risk. This number, 103,000, that's the estimated number of people hospitalized every single year in the US alone just from the stomach-related side effects. Let that sink in. It's a really powerful reminder that just because you can buy something off the shelf doesn't mean it's harmless.
So, naturally, this huge problem, this issue of blocking the good guy along with the bad guy, sparked this massive scientific quest. The mission? To build a perfect painkiller. And the story of what happened next? Well, it's a huge cautionary tale.
The idea behind it was honestly brilliant. Instead of a shotgun that hits everything, what if you could create a sniper rifle? A drug that was so smart, so precise, that it only targeted the bad COX-2 alarm while leaving the good COX-1 housekeeper totally untouched.
This amazing idea gave birth to a whole new class of drugs, the COX-2 inhibitors. And the star of that show was a drug called Vioxx.
So Vioxx launched in 1999, and it was a blockbuster, hailed as this incredible breakthrough. But then, the very next year, the first red flags started to pop up. A huge study found some troubling signs, more heart attacks in people taking Vioxx. Then, fast forward to 2004, another big trial confirms it, and it's bad news. It found a doubled risk of heart attack and stroke. The drug was immediately pulled from markets all over the world. The perfect hero wasn't so perfect after all.
Yeah, the Vioxx story is now like a textbook example of unintended consequences in medicine. In trying to solve one very real problem, the stomach issues, they accidentally uncovered a completely different and arguably much more dangerous problem. It just goes to show you when you start tinkering with the body's super complex systems, there are rarely any easy answers.
Okay, so after all that, what does this actually mean for you the next time you get a headache? Well, it means we just have to be smart. We have to treat these drugs like the powerful tools they are, and that means always thinking about the balance between the benefits and the very real risks.
Look, if you remember only one thing from our time together, make it this. This is the golden rule. Use the lowest effective dose for the shortest period of time. Seriously, this isn't just some casual advice. It's the absolute bedrock of using these drugs safely. It means you don't take them just in case, and you don't keep taking them after the pain is gone. Get the relief and then stop.
And, for some folks, the risk side of that equation is just too high. We're talking about a clear red flag list here. If you've ever had stomach ulcers, or if you have kidney disease or heart failure, or if you've had a heart attack or stroke in the past, you really need to be cautious and probably avoid them. Same goes for people with uncontrolled high blood pressure and for women in the late stages of pregnancy.
At the end of the day, everybody's body is different, right? Your health history is unique, so the single smartest thing you can ever do is just talk to your doctor or your pharmacist. They're the ones who can look at the whole picture and help you figure out if an NSAID is actually a safe and smart choice for you. So, next time you open that cabinet and reach for a painkiller, maybe you'll see it a little differently. It's not just a simple pill, it's a really powerful piece of chemistry with a complicated story behind it. So the question is, what will you think about? Will you consider the dose, how long you'll take it for, or even if it's the best option in the first place? It's definitely a question worth asking.